All right, we're here again with Rashawn Gordon from Gordon Gun Dogs. And one thing that I love to hear is Rashawn's stories. Rashawn has just a wealth of hunting experience, upland birds, all kinds of guiding, all kinds of wild birds, preserved birds, and he's got some pretty good stories. And one of them is my favorite, is when he guided one of our top breeders. And I kind of want to emphasize how good a puppy, maybe a DK or versatile dog, compared to maybe even a dual champion can be. So, Rashawn, I kind of set the stage. Why don't you tell us the story?
All right. Well, I had a few friends that were stationed out at Edwards Air Force Base back in the late 80s, early 90s. And one of them called me and said, "Hey, Rashawn, a friend of ours overheard us talking about going mountain quail hunting, and his buddy was really wanting to complete his North American Grand Slam of quail. He needs a mountain quail, and was wanting to know if he got in touch with you, if you'd take him out hunting." And I said, "Sure." And he said, "Well, this guy lives out in New Mexico, and he has a big kennel, and he raises a bunch of Duel Champions." So I was like, okay, that's even cooler. And I knew who the guy was. I wanted to meet him. And so I waited a few days later, and I got a phone call from him. He asked when would be a good time. We made a date, and he traveled from New Mexico down to California, and we met up. Well, when he got into my Jeep, he decided to ride with me and have his buddies follow us in his rig. He asked if I brought any dogs, and I brought two puppies. One was, I believe, 9 months, and the other one was right around 6 months. And one was a little German DK, and the other one was out of one of my breedings. And when he saw that they were puppies, he just instantly ripped into me about taking dogs out that were too young, and they wouldn't be able to hunt, and I was going to ruin them, and just, you know, etc., etc. And I just kind of blew it off. So we get there to the spot, and we let the dogs out, and the first thing that happened was my two dogs, my older dog was on point, the younger one was on back. When the quail got up, I dropped the double, and his buddy didn't shoot, and I was like, "Why didn't you shoot?" And he's like, I just couldn't believe that those puppies were pointing and backing, and it was just awesome. So we met up with the rest of the group. He had told his friend, "Oh, you should have seen that, you know, it was just amazing." And his buddy kind of looked down his nose and kind of, you know, like, that's nice, and walked off. Well, we got down to where we walked through this valley and work our way back to the truck, because we pushed the birds off a hillside into a valley. And his 3 Duel Champions just worked this one area. And then my little pup, my little DK, came in behind him and just locked up on a solid point. And I said, "Hey, you might want to go over there and get that bird, and she's on point." He said, "Oh, that dog's not on point. My 3 dogs just went right through there." And I said, "Yeah, the dog's on point. You need to get over there." So he kind of said one more time, "I don't think she's got a bird." And I said, "Well, let's go over there." And when he got there, boom, male valley quail comes out. He shot, missed, and then he was like, "Wow, she had a bird." He said, "Why don't you let me take her back to New Mexico, and I'll get you some field trial points on her." And I was, "Nah, I'll just put my points on her myself." But that's pretty much that. I don't know what else to say.